What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Fight Exchange presented by Prediction Strike. I'm your guy, Clint, and my co-host, David Jackson, talking to you about long and short-term investments with athletes here with Prediction Strike. David, how you doing today, my man?
I'm doing great. Thanks for the plug. Appreciate you always. I love Prediction Strike. I love investing in fighters. It's such a fun concept, and so excited about today's fight card.
Completely agree, man. For those of you who didn't read the title before you clicked on the video, this is the episode for UFC 285. We've got a massive card to talk about, and there's a lot of opportunities. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and dive straight on into this bad boy. I lied. Use promo code FE when you deposit with Prediction Strike. Let them know your boys sent you over there to get the ball rolling. Now we can get into it, man. First fight of the night, we've got Loic Radzhabov, who's coming to us from the PFL, making his UFC debut, $1.90. He is taking on Esteban Ribovics, who is $1.03, and he is from Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series. Folks, we've got a lot of fights to get to. We're going to keep this relatively short and quick. David, what do you make of these fighters, man? I don't know if you've got any interest in investing in either of these guys here to start the night.
Yeah, I mean, this first one is really pretty interesting. I think Esteban is a really good fighter, really good prospect. But I think Loic, I think that's how you pronounce his name, Loic Radzhabov. Could I get a name
Close
check on
enough.
that? Close enough.
Radzhabov? I'm not sure. It's one of those. There's a B in there somewhere.
Radzhabov. I think if your name ends with OV and you've already got a little value on you and you're going against Esteban, he's not really known for his like grappling, wrestling abilities. My stock interest or my investment interest is going to go towards a strong wrestler or grappler if I'm going to go with one of these young prospects. So I'm looking at Loic at $1.90. I mean, it looks like he's got a strong value. He's kind of got a build. Working with them already. So, if I'm investing in either of these two, I'm looking at Loic for sure. He's, young, strong wrestler. Your name ends in OV. Let's go.
You're going to get the rub if your name ends in OV. I'm with you there, man. I think I'd be looking at Loic. Maybe you get a buy low on Esteban. Kid's got power. If he takes an L on Saturday, maybe you buy low on him after that Prediction Strike. Dollar value drops just a little tidbit. But the next fight, man, like I said, we'll move this right along here. We're talking about Farid Basharat, $1.28, the brother of Javid Basharat, who's already made his UFC debut. And he's taken on Damon Blackshear. Blackshear dropped his UFC debut on short notice to Youssef Zalal. I'll be honest with you, man. I'm all about the Bash Bros. I love Javid and Farid Basharat, their style, the way they fight. It looks like the UFC's getting behind them. He's a minus 400 favorite on Saturday. That's the side I'm looking at here. I mean, Damon may be one of these 2-0 cut from the organization type of guys. I hope he gets that third crack. Not convinced he will. Definitely on the Basharat side, if anything.
Oh yeah, I'm excited about this one. I'm with you. I'm a big Bash Brothers fan. $1.28 for this hot of a prospect. This is where the investing side can sometimes be more advantageous than betting because you're getting a really low price on $1.28 on a guy that's already been valued through the moon on the betting side of the world.
Exactly.
You can get on him at a great price here in investing and with Prediction Strike. $1.28 all day.
They're going to softball him a couple, right? Like this isn't going to be the only fight he gets handed. He'll get another one that's a little light on the competition side of things after this.
Yeah. So take advantage of this. $1.28 for Basharat. I'm in.
I'm right there with you, man. Now, going from one of the most investable fighters on the entire card to one of the least investable fighters, Jessica Penne. No offense, Jessica. Ooh. I love you. I appreciate you for all you've done. But she's a 40-year-old lady who's got 87 cents per stock. Folks, don't go anywhere near Jessica Penne this weekend, please. Just keep your money in your pocket. Even if she wins, That number's really not going anywhere. Her opponent, on the other hand, Tabitha Ricci, seems to be a young, grinding grappler who's attractive, knows how to work the gram. Like, she's got everything going for her, man. I feel like the UFC would like to get behind some Tabitha if she can string a couple wins together. $1.12. No brainer. That's the side I want to be on if I'm playing this fight.
Oh yeah, I think a lot of people like to get behind Tabitha Ricci, if I might say so myself. $1.12. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I mean, that's a hot price. Like you said, Panay, big fan of the pasta, not the greatest fan of the fighter, and 87 cents it's not going anywhere.
Yep. I completely agree, man. There's no way to debate that one, so we'll just move on to the next one. Next up, we got Mana Martinez. He's been in the UFC for a bit, a Dana White's Contender Series fighter himself, 78 cents per share, and his opponent is brand new to the UFC, made a splash in his debut. Cameron Simon fighting out of Africa, 92 cents per share. So a couple of babies here, man. There's definitely some investable opportunity with these two boys. Do you like a side one way or the other on this one?
Yes, I love Mana Martinez. I think he's a strong prospect. Hot underdog. I think as well. If I remember the odds on that one.
Yeah, he's currently a plus 240 underdog on the betting line.
I mean, I like that. I like that. And his both of these prices are great. Under $1, usually the 78 cents for Mana. I think it was really interesting with these like lesser known fighters because you can't know too much about them just yet, based on their kind of a limited fights that are broadcasted. But what you do hear is like who certain guys are training with, and if you trust that guy, if you have a lot of I guess footage or just trust in certain fighters that they're training with, I mean that for me goes a long way. I think I read somewhere that Martinez trained with Adrian, help me with his name.
Yanez.
And I love Yanez.
Yeah, man, he went back to his roots in Houston. He's working with a big time striking coach out there. And I'll be honest with you, David. I set you up, my guy. Like I set the trap. I dug the hole. I put the leaves over it and I kicked it over to you because I expected you to want to come in on the Cameron Simon side of things. And I was going to go, not so fast, my friend. I was ready to go head to head with you here. I like Mana Martinez too. I really like Mana Martinez in this spot. I already bet him as an underdog. So I like him in the fight in general. And I do think he's a kid with a good frame for the weight class. He's got offensive power. Now he's got, 3 fights under his belt where he went a full 15 minutes. He knows the UFC level and what it takes to succeed here. I think now's takeoff time. I think now's the time when he starts heading the right direction, and he's taking on a young kid who's 22 years old, makes a lot of mistakes, and hasn't gone through what he has. He hasn't experienced that next level of competition just yet. I actually like both these guys from a long-term investment.
Ooh, yeah. That's the other fun part of the investing. You can go long on both. Oh, I think you're muted. I can't hear you.
Technical
now
issues.
Okay, now I got you.
Dang it. Technical issues. Where'd I lose you?
Right as you were talking about, you'd still invest in Simon.
I'm just saying, man, I think Simon takes an L on Saturday. I had a whole thing. I went off on it. You guys couldn't hear it. You got to love live shows. I just think you can buy low on Cameron Simon after that price dips a little bit if he takes that loss on Saturday, because I do think Mana Martinez is going to get him out of there. You buy on Mana now, you buy on Cameron Simon on Sunday.
Boom. I love that.
I like it. All right, man. Glad to hear we're on the same page there. Got a feeling we might be on the same page here as well. Ian Machado Gary coming up here as one of the biggest favorites on this card. He's exploded all the way up to, I think, minus 700 at this point. You can get him over on Prediction Strike at $1.65. His opponent, Song Kanan, 40 cents. Just a measly little 40 cents. 40 they don't think cents. Much of him as far as his stock price and shares goes. Bro, just tell me all about the investing on Ian Gary here.
Man, What are you talking about? Song Kanan. That is the hot prospect here.
Ship it.
No, this one. I believe that they're feeding Song Kanan to Ian Gary. This is a big, pay-per-view, card. Ian Gary is this really popular Irish dude. He's a Conor McGregor baby. Let's just call it what it is. He's a Conor McGregor baby.
He's much nicer though.
He's much nicer, but he's got a big mouth. He's trying to go out there and get these extravagant finishes, and and the UFC wants him to do that too. So that's why I like this matchup, and I love this price at $1.65. If you can invest in Ian Gary, man, that's hot. That's Apple 15 years ago hot. Let's go.
Agreed. Folks, if you've got the ability to, I mean, like we talked about, this man Ian Gary is a minus 700 favorite on the betting line come Saturday. You can get him here for $1.65 per share. This is a guy the UFC is going to lead along. This is a guy who's got a finishing skill set, which always bumps that number up even higher. This is a guy who can get up to that $4 and $5 price tag. If the UFC plays their cards right and brings him along over the next couple of years, this is a red light investment opportunity here. Ian Gary is somebody you want to buy shares in this week.
Positively.
All right. Glad we agreed there. I'm curious your thoughts on this next one, though, man. We got Julian Marquez sitting at a 78-cent mark here. He's one of the Glory MMA refugees having to run out and find another gym after the whole James Krause situation. Been a little up and down in the UFC so far. His opponent, Marc-Andre Barriault, another guy who's been a little up and down, a bit more consistent, far more hard-nosed, nice grappling game. I personally like MAB, but I'm not sure which of these guys I really have all that much interest in long term. I think Marc-Andre wins the fight on Saturday, but I don't know if I really want to buy in him long term. What about you?
I feel the same way, but opposite fighter. I think Julian Marquez.
I found the head-to-head.
There it is. But it's a really close fight. Like, I'm really just curious to watch this fight play out. But I don't know how high the ceiling on either of these guys are. So, my interest in, investing or, really putting my own money and investing in them, my interest is not there.
I'm right there with you, man. I'm right there with you. This is one that I just don't think there's going to be a whole lot of return on long term. So as much as, we're trying to promote Prediction Strike using promotion code FE to deposit and get your cash in there and play some, this probably isn't the fight. I'd suggest you keep your money in your pocket for this one. If you like a side for Saturday, hit the betting line. Don't necessarily need to be buying in over here on this one for the long term. We want to put money in your pocket for that. All right, man. Next fight to talk about. The ladies will continue. Viviane Araújo sits at $3.07. I'm actually a little surprised at how high her price tag is at this point.
That does seem high.
Yeah, we've seen some of these, male fighters, and not that there's a discrepancy between male and female. It's about what you've done in the sport and where you're at in your division. But some of these guys we've talked about, I mean, like even Ian Gary, I feel like that's the ballpark someone like Vivi should be at. She's 36 years old, so she's not exactly a spring chicken. She might contend for a title. That's a decent chunk of a number there. Now, her opponent, Amanda Hebos, a little bit younger, a little bit smaller, $2.36 per share for her. Man, when she got going, the UFC was all kinds of behind Amanda Hebos. They wanted her to be a star. They wanted her to have gold around her waist. She got the softest matchmaking I've ever seen. And I think the run has come to its end. I like Vivi here on Saturday. I like Vivi a lot on Saturday, actually. And I'm not sure how I feel about it long-term wise, because we're getting to a bit of a bottleneck here in this weight class as far as the ladies go and the title, shots and challenges go. And she's a little bit older, so I'm not really sure I want to load up on $3 shares on Vivi Araújo, but I will pick her to win on Saturday, and she might even finish. What are your thoughts on this fight?
Just to keep things spicy, I'm gonna go ahead and go against you on this one. I think Amanda Hebos can take this one. I think she's still got a couple sparks in there. Okay. 238, kind of interested, but like you said, $3 and almost 250 on these type of fighters doesn't really captivate me. Kind of feel about similar as I did about the Julian Marquez and Marc-Andre fight. excited to watch it. This one I'm not investing in.
Okay. I completely agree with you, man. Like, this is another one where I'd prefer to bet, not necessarily invest in. If you do think that one of these girls is going to make a title run or something like that, then maybe go for it. It's just a little too pricey for me.
Yeah, who are we? Who are we?
Yeah.
A couple
You don't have to
layman's.
do everything we say.
Yeah.
We're not your dads. All right, man. Next fight up, we got Derek Brunson, $3.30. Blonde Brunson has been on a hell of a run the last couple of years, man. You got to respect what he's done out there. But his opponent, Dricus du Plessis, $2.12. He is all the rage right now, all the hotness. And I think this really is a matter of just taking the younger fighter at this point. Dricus is the one the UFC's pushing. He's getting finishes left and right. They're putting him in favorable matchups. Brunson's old. He's kind of gotten to the end of his run here. He might have one or two left in him. I don't want to count him out completely. But from an investment standpoint, which again is what we're here for, I think I'm looking Dricus's way. What are you doing?
Yes, man. First of all, this guy has the coolest name in the UFC, bar none. Dricus du Plessis. Like, that guy gets, I'm not going to say the word on air. Like, I mean, he looks like he's chiseled from stone. He's like this big South African, like, muscle head. He beat up Darren Till like it was his little brother. And now he's coming for Blonde Brunson. Brunson's definitely going to be more of a fight than old Darren Till was. But I think you're right on this one too. Dricus is younger. The price is hot. It's $2.12. And this guy is really motivated. He's really motivated, really strong, and he's young. And I'm here for it. I'm on the train. I'm on the Dricus train.
Okay. I'm with you, man. I'm right there with you on the Dricus train. I'm a little worried about, round 2 against Darren Till. Kind of gassed out and slowed down. I'm just a tid worried about that with the way Brunson can wrestle. But at the end of the day, I think he eventually finds an elbow and probably calls it a day. Maybe round 2, maybe round 3. I think Dricus will get it done. I
think so too.
All right, man. Glad we agree on that one. Next up, we got the return of Cody Garbrandt, $2.51. And this, man, how the mighty have fallen. For a guy that had the belt wrapped around his waist at one time, like, we should be talking about this man in $4 and $5.
This is one of the sadder ones.
Yeah, it really is. He really should have a much higher price tag, I feel like. But you can't invest in a man who goes out there and bangs and has lost his chin time and time again. His opponent, Trevin Jones, a guy who I'm actually a fan of, I want to see succeed, but just I'm not sure he's UFC caliber, man. At the end of the day, I'm not sure Trevin Jones is actually going to hack it at the UFC level. 79 cents. This is a complete stay away for me. I can't pay that much money on Cody Garbrandt, especially with his chin. You could make the argument that this is a buy low spot on him because if he gets it together, if he gets at the right camp, and he's talked a lot publicly about like his personal situation, if he sorts all that stuff out, you're talking about a championship skill set. You could be getting him at $2.50 a share with that type of a skill set. If you want to take that gamble, go for it. I can't really blame you for it, but I can't do it. And then Trevin Jones, I'm sorry. I do think he'll stick around for a bit. I think he'll have a couple more UFC fights. I'm not sure how long he's going to last, though, in the organization, so I'm not buying on him either.
No, me neither. I feel exactly the same way. Trevin Jones, to be completely honest, I think they've given Cody Garbrandt a winnable fight, so that
kind of feels that way, doesn't it?
Maybe he can string together a couple wins and probably right away, in the sunset and feel good about himself. So, I mean, that's just how I feel about that. So I can't invest in Trevin. I care definitely because of the points you brought up with Cody. I can't invest in him either. He's not dependable. You don't know when that flip is going to switch in his head. He's like, screw it. We're going to bang it out right now.
Every fight, man. It happens every fight.
Every fight. I'm not investing my money in that. Personally,
no, definitely not a safe bet. If you're playing on Garbrandt, you're definitely a gambler. Hopefully, we'll see what happens on Saturday, man. We'll see, because I would not be shocked if he at some point decided to bite down and Trevin Jones catches him with a big one, because that guy's got some power.
Absolutely.
All right, here we go, man. Maybe another, I don't want to call it a setup fight, but this one should be pretty one-sided. Jamie Pickett. Oh, this poor man. He's being brought in for Jamie Pickett. 62 cents per share to take on Bo Nickel, a man with 3 professional MMA fights who is already $2.38 per share. Man, the second, look at that. Look at that graph. The second Bo Nickel made it to the UFC, people said, give me some of that. And I can't say I blame them. He's got one of the best wrestling resumes we've ever seen in the octagon, and it's just a matter of can he string the skill set together. I think he can, and we all know this is a layup fight here against poor Jamie Pickett. The question is, how high is that ceiling? I mean, still a lot of questions to be answered, but it's Bo Nickel or nothing for me, man. What about you?
I'm gonna say that ceiling is very high.
Okay.
I feel bad for Jalen Turner to be in this feeder spot position, and just hearing him in
Jamie
interviews.
Pickett, you're one fight ahead.
Jalen
Turner's coming up.
Jalen Turner. Oh my God. Sorry, Jamie Pickett. Yeah, he's aware of the position he's in, and that can be tough to watch sometimes. Just mentally speaking, and the battles they got to go through themselves. But I mean, and I'm someone who I got in on Bo whenever his IPO dropped. I was on that like white on rice, because I mean, you've seen this guy. This guy's 3 fights in, all first round finishes. I don't think he's been to the second minute of any of his fights.
It's all been quick.
And yeah, this is going to be another one of those fights, and it's going to be on pay-per-view, and it's going to get a lot of eyes, and he's going to be very popular, and that price is going to be gone on Saturday.
That's true.
238 is still a great price for Bo Nickel. If you're hearing this, you want to be on that train. He's gonna be one of those $5 fighters, 100%. He's gonna get a greased path to the title fight, and he's gonna be right in there. So if you want to double your money real quick, get your grandma's retirement, invest in Bo Nickel now.
I like it, man. I like it. This is another big red alert that if you want to be in on somebody who we know the price tag is going up on, you definitely want to get Bo Nickel while you can. All right, folks, next fight up. Mateus Gamrot filling in on short notice, $1.58 for one of the best grappling specialists in the weight class, taking on my guy, Jalen Turner, who's $1.33. And this is one of those ones where, man, I'm on the other side. I'm surprised this price tag is so low. Jalen Turner, he's been on a bit of a cruise here in the UFC, man. He's had a couple of big wins. He's had a lot of finishes. I kind of expected this would be a bit higher of a price tag. Frankly, from my side of things, I think both sides are investable. What are you doing here?
Oh, dude, I was thinking the same thing. I love Jalen Turner, and I think what happens here is, we've mentioned it before, whatever fighter loses and gets that dip in price, that's a great investment. You could, invest however, 50 on Jalen tonight, or I don't know. It's just hard to say. Whoever you think is gonna lose, that's.
I was gonna say, you got to pick your side. You got to pick who's winning on Saturday, David.
Ooh, I think Jalen gets the win on Saturday, and
me too.
I think I was projecting because I want to invest in Jalen now and then invest in Mateus once he loses, and he gets that price dip, because he's not a Gamrot's not a joke. He's coming back. He's here. He's here to stay.
It's true. It's very true. Now, I do worry about Gamrot's ability to wrestle for 15 hard minutes on short notice. That's kind of the big thing for me. Full camp versus full camp, I think he'd be a lot better prepared for this fight. So I think Jalen Turner has maybe a bit of an edge that he wouldn't otherwise have, because he had a full training camp coming into this one. And he's had to have been working on that grappling since he lost to Matt Frivola. So I'm sure he's got some new wrinkles in his game. And he's got that power, man. He's always just one big shot away from a first-round knockout victory or a club and sub. So I'm with you. I like Jalen Turner a little bit on Saturday. Might be, sprinkling some there myself. But you definitely want some of Mateus Gamrot, because he's another guy that is going to compete with the top 5 of this weight class for the next couple of years. His price is definitely going to be going up also.
Yep, completely agree.
All right, folks. Remember, the show is brought to you by Prediction Strike. Make sure you hit us with the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe here to the channel as well. And then make sure you follow my guy David Jackson and Prediction Strike on all your social media accounts. Help us out to get the ball rolling there, and use deposit code FE if you're going to jump in feet first and do some long-term investing here with us on these athletes. Don't forget, there's other sports as well. So if you're an MMA, sprinkler, but you really like your NBA, or if you're a football guy, that's totally cool. We got all those athletes as well. They're all booked up in there. So whatever you're into, you can invest in. Next up, yeah, Jeff Neal. Oh, baby. $3.60 taking on Shavkat Rakhmonov, who is $3.01. Basically another version of Hamzat Chimaev, a man who people are just already deciding is built for the title. He's going to come in here and take it, man. This is a stiff test, in my opinion. This is one heck of a fight. And both these guys are up at the top end of their weight class. Maybe 1 or 2 fights away from a potential title shot if they get a big finish or something like that. There's some serious stakes here. What do you make of this fight? Who are you going with?
Oh, I love this fight. And yeah, like you said, they're both kind of like right there on the edge of getting a really, really big fight. And the winner of this fight is going to get it. I love the price of Shavkat at $3.01. I think that's super investable. This is a guy, 16 fights, 16 finishes. That is a statement. And man,
it's fantastic.
I love Jeff Neal too. That's the thing. It's such a tough one to pick. My gut leans Shavkat. All evidence points to Shavkat winning this one. That's also who I would invest in. And maybe this loss for Jeff Neal makes that price a little bit more attractive too, because 360 it's kind of teetering on the edge of is he investable for me? And right now, that's not an investable price for me for Jeff Neal. If he loses, I might be in there.
Okay. All right. I'm kind of in the same boat. I guess, if you're just straight pick, I think Shavkat Rakhmonov gets it. He is a -500 favorite on the betting line, but I wouldn't be shocked at all if Jeff Neal makes this close and competitive and maybe even steals it, man. We still have a lot of questions that have yet to be answered about Shavkat Rakhmonov, but train's leaving the station, folks. Both these fighters at these price tags. If you want to be investable on either of them, now's the time. Get in now, because one of these guys is probably headed to the title and moving up to $5 and $6 per share if they get through their opponent on Saturday. So take the 3 while you can. Co-main event time, man. We've got Valentina Shevchenko, $5.67. The queen herself, taking on my girl, Alexa Grasso, $3.64. And I don't know what it is, man. I just have a soft spot in my heart for Alexa. I've been cheering for her for years, wanted her to get to the top. I honestly didn't know that she would ever necessarily crack the title picture, but here we are, and I can't even pick her to win. It's brutal. I don't think she's got the tools and the skill set that it takes to beat Valentina Shevchenko. It's kind of hard. It's hard for me to think about investing in either of these fighters, really, because Val, we saw a chink in the armor her last time out, man. We saw what it takes to beat her, and Erin Blanchfield is knocking on that door right now. I kind of think Valentina's days are numbered, frankly. I don't want to invest in her at this point in her career. And while I do think there's still brighter days ahead for Alexa, and I think she's going to continue getting better, I think she may even challenge for the title again a little bit further on down the road, I would wait for her to take that L before I jumped in feet first on Alexa Grasso here. What are you doing in this fight?
Yeah, that's the opportunity. Valentina is pretty much maxed out already. I don't see her price going up much more than it already is. And yeah, like you said, I don't see Grasso winning. So the opportunity here is when Grasso takes the L, buy the dip.
Buy the dip. I like it. All right, folks. It is main event time. We're talking UFC 285 and the return of Johnny Bones Jones, the man who set the bar himself, $5.26. And I just want to click this thing here and look at this little graph he's got going, because he's been around for a minute, man. He's been around. But the investable side of him, look at this little uptick here at the end. He's got some people saying $5 is a cheap price tag here on the GOAT. He's moving up to heavyweight, taking on Cyril Gane, $4.56 per share. And I do want to go back in time here a little bit. He took a decent jump up there not so long ago. That's got to be the Tuivasa fight.
Man,
I love I love this fight. I cannot wait to see what happens. I'm a registered John Jones hater, so I'm going to be all team Cyril Gane
Ooh.
cheering for him on Saturday.
Ooh.
But I got to
Wait,
tell
wait.
you, I can't disrespect the skill set though. Like I think if you're gonna do anything and you say John Jones is, he's talking about greatness and he wants to take over the heavyweight division. Francis is gone. There's Cyril, and then who? Who's next? Like if John steps in and takes the strap from Gone, I don't think there's anybody else that's gonna really cause him much of a
Stipe.
problem.
Stipe, maybe a little.
Stipe's old and busted, man. I'd take John Jones over Stipe any day. And I'd be more worried about like Pavlovich, somebody who can one punch him real quick and maybe hurt him on the feet or something like that. Someone who has the wrestling or the speed, especially an older guy like Stipe. I'm not worried about it. Believe it or not, John Jones may be investable at $5.26 a share.
Sorry, we got a dog barking over here. Yeah, I mean, so you said you're a John Jones hater. What does that mean? Just like
I'm an
his
outside of the cage hater.
outside
I
of the cage.
respect and
Okay.
love the skill set, everything inside the cage. I'll watch him. I'll tune in every time.
Okay.
But it's the
Okay.
outside of the cage stuff that rubs me the wrong way.
He's a sociopath. Yeah.
You're nicer than I am.
Yeah. I try to be diplomatic sometimes. I think John Jones in this spot, if I'm investing in either of these fighters, it's got to be John Jones. I think he walks Cyril Gane through the park and sets him down nicely and pats him on the back after the fight. And I think he's going to do the same thing to the rest of the middleweight division, the heavyweight division, whatever fights they can try to feed us or whatever narratives they can try to feed us. I think John Jones runs that division all day long and maybe gets a couple more cool wins. Maybe his price goes up to like $5.50, $6 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So that there's some little opportunity there. I'm picking John Jones to win this fight as well. It's pretty black or white on this one.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if anybody's going to, they call the man the GOAT, right? If anybody's going to break the record for the price tag on an MMA fighter, it's going to be John Jones. So if you want to get in and see where that number can take you, I don't blame you there whatsoever. I think that's probably the move, man. It sounds like we're agreeing a little bit more than disagreeing for the most part here at UFC 285.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Our disagreements were just for fun, really.
You gotta love it, man. You gotta love when we're on the same page with some of these spots, folks. This was the Fight Exchange. Nice, short, snappy episode here for you for UFC 285. Show us some love, show us some support. Follow us, follow the show, follow Prediction Strike and my guy David Jackson over on socials, and we will be back for you. Not next week, the week after. We're going back to the every other week format, and then of course all the pay-per-view action. We'll see you guys in a week or so. David, anything you want to let the people know before we sign off here?
Just as always, if you're curious about investing or Prediction Strike, hop on the app, look around, take a look around, look at this platform and all the opportunities that are there. Where we do these earlier fighters just so you can see where these prices are starting, and the more experienced ones, where these prices can go, just to give you an idea of what your money can do. That's why we watch these shows. That's why we follow these fighters. And if you're a fan of the sport, this is a great opportunity just to get in and make some money.
All right. I like it. Let's make some money, everybody. Kick some ass at UFC 285 and come back and take a look at those stock prices after you get done buying and selling here at the Prediction Strike outlet. Everybody have a wonderful week. We'll see you for UFC Vegas 72. I think
so.
Looks like that's the one. All right, everybody. Have a great week. Good luck gambling, and we'll see you next time.